And in fact, we've got 7 minutes left. You're okay with that, Steve? Okay. And I want to tell you this story because when I was growing up in St. John, New Brunswick, I have an older brother. His name is George. George was here this morning. And my wife, my gosh, I don't think he'd be pleased with this. My sister-in-law, Verna's up there. Verna, just want to let people know where you are. And I always want to tell this story because when George and I grew up in New Brunswick, we were hockey players. We loved hockey. There's probably a lot of hockey players were people who, have played hockey or they're with people who play hockey in this group. But we played in the morning. We played at noon. We played after school. But in addition to that, every time George and I had the opportunity, we would go off to a place called Robinson Lake. Robinson Lake was about a mile up into the forest. And it was one of those amazing lakes where the snow would blow it off. It was like nature's Zamboni. It would blow through, and when we would get up there, it was free and open skating. It was fantastic. So George and I would be up there on our own. Now, I was the younger brother, and I would trudge through the snow, which was oftentimes quite high, and we'd get up there. And by the time I got there, this is a true story, we had a rock beside the lake, and we called that the bench. And he would sit me on the bench, and he'd take off my boots, and he would rub my feet, and he would blow into my skates, warm up my skates. He'd open them up, put them on my feet, and he'd tie them back up again. And then he would go ahead and get his own shoes, right, his own skates. And we'd pass that puck. We didn't talk an awful lot. We just passed it around and shot. I thought I was Bobby Orr, and he thought he was someone else. It was fantastic. We shoot, we score. And that was done. We'd go back to the bench, and he'd take off my skates first. He'd blow into my boots. He'd put my boots on. And then he'd go and do the same thing for himself. And then there were times that I was too cold to walk home. And he would literally put me on his shoulders, and he'd walk me home. I'll never forget it. Probably my dearest friend. And I say that to you because those relationships that get forged at very young ages, because of certain things we do for one another as parents, let's get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let those things happen. They're in there, they're in the room, they're talking together, get out of the way. Let those things happen. They go off together to do something. Get out of the way. Sit back and smile because they're forging something for themselves that will far, far exceed our lifespan. Okay? So here are the lessons learned from that. Given the chance, siblings will watch over one another, care for one another, and ultimately befriend one another for the rest of their entire lives. I will make this trip back to New Brunswick for the rest of my life as many times as I need to. Now, for any of you who are wondering, I blow in my own skates now. I'm a big boy. I wear big boy stuff. But that relationship has now become mutual in that if there are things that he needs from me that I can do for him, it's going to happen. And I know I can count on him. Okay. Next thing is the love we show will become the love that we receive. It's reciprocal, 100%. Not because we owe anything to anyone, but because there's a principle of reciprocity that is once engaged in families, it happens. Okay? And for the rest of my life, I will feel that toward him, and hopefully he will to me. So as parents, if you see that happen, get out of the way. Sit back, smile, and celebrate.